Buddy, I want you to play Garry's Mod with me. The process of playing Gmod or Garry's Mod by yourself is a bit hard for me to show you. It's the equivalent of playing with cars on the floor of my bedroom. And no matter how hot those wheels are, I'm still going to be embarrassed that you watched me play on the floor with cars. I'm 24, and I should know well enough to lock the door, but this is what Gmod is. It's one big floor with too many cool-ass cars to count, and an equal amount of strange but metal things that you didn't know you want to play with on your floor. Garry's Mod is an infinite sandbox. The only limitation is yourself and the source engine, which is apparently fairly limited. I've been playing this game since I was a wee tyke, and I'm still very limiting to myself. I'm not someone who uses the more scientific aspects of this game, which there are quite a few if you go and explore them. I just don't know computers well enough. I do know that this game apparently runs something called a .lua file, and it is never satisfied. It is literally always needing more .luas. Thousands of luas, and I really hope these files are being sustainably harvested, because otherwise it's really just an irresponsible amount of .lua files. When I play Garry's Mod, I'm essentially playing pretend, basically playing with dolls, or more accurately playing with trains. I am a very simple person to please. Playing for theatrics like this allows for a repeated pattern to develop. Step 1, try. Try to get the train on these tracks and fail many, many, many times. Move on to trying to finessing these wheels on the track one at a time, fail many more times. Eventually just respawn the train a couple of times until you get to step 2, which is get close and hope it fixes itself. The train is basically on the tracks here. If I just give it a little acceleration, and now we're in business. And, well, that's it, really. You've moved into step 3. Once you've accepted that whatever it is part of the story, you can continue telling any story. You can enjoy anything in this game if you are of this mentality of, well, this is what I've got, what can I do with it? It's very, very freeing in that sense, but also sort of intimidating, because you see what people can create. It's kind of like Minecraft in that sense, where no matter how cool your thing is, if you go looking, you will find something cooler. Garry's Mod's a little meaner with that, because they feature community creations on the homepage. So these very cool, very talented individuals staging these awesome scenes or tableaus, which is like the main thing to do in single players, to create a very silly scene. You have to look at those and wonder, well, maybe I could make something kind of close. So that's what I asked Connor to do. I asked Connor to make me a very silly scene. All right, so what you got here?
Okay, so I kind of described this as like the classic, like, you know, look what I got. You're wondering how I got into this mess. You know, like we got Eli, we got, well, G-Man on that side on the left here, and then we got Eli on the other side. Seems as though that they have stolen a horse statue and also a bust of, I imagine, the president. And they have actually some backup as they're running away from this explosion in cops. They have some backup in Garry the Snail and Eugene Krabs. So I really knew that that's what I wanted to make as a scene for some reason, when you were like, let's do a scene. And then I was like, this is what I'm going to make. Like some people doing a jump behind some explosions.
So this is
that
like,
seems easy.
This is right after the record scratch. Like, I bet you're wondering how.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like slow motion, like almost like Deadpool style.
Perfect. Well, I think we'll take this garbage truck over to my base.
Yeah, let's see what you got, or not. Actually, I don't think I can get inside of that.
It's very odd. Just to let people behind the curtain here, we're recording this not actually while we're gameplaying, and it's like Mystery Science Theater, but for us.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we did a pretty good job at keeping the cover over everybody's head so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, feel like...
Oh, the tractor's a good bit,
yeah.
though. Like...
So at this point, it just kind of shows that you could do whatever you want in Garry's Mod.
You can do whatever you want.
So I'm taking Connor over to my scene here, and we had many obstacles to getting us there, and I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't rope it right.
Yeah, we have many obstacles. We get going. We wind up putting the chair in here. I'm just gonna speed this up, and then we'll get to my base. But you can see behind us here how long it took us to get there.
Oh, it took us a long time.
All right, well, that was a pretty hectic trip.
Yeah, we finally made it. Now we just got to get over this fence and up these hills.
I noticed that you took a bit of a fall there. You think you might need to stop by the hospital?
I guess. Is there one around? I know there's a bowling alley on this map. Is there a hospital anywhere?
I think there's like a perfectly good country hospital, if that's what I named it. A very good country hospital.
A very good country hospital. See, I mean, but the thing is as soon as you walk in, like...
Yeah, that's Bert.
I'm worried about him.
Bert's fine. Can you sign in real quick for me?
I mean... Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Where
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, okay.
You actually... One more X there.
Initial here, yeah.
You perfect.
Sign here.
Perfect.
Okay. Cool. This pen's out of ink, by the way.
Oh, dang. Well, you could just put that in the non-disinfected pile.
I'd rather not.
Oh, okay. Just trash it.
Yeah, do we want to talk about the guy floating in the middle of the hallway here?
Oh, that's just a paramedic. I mean, just doing his job. Don't bug him. He won't bug you.
Yeah.
Unless you grab onto him.
As you start to bug with him. But yeah, sure.
It's cool. He knows me. Check out the ambulance. This is a very good country hospital. If there's anything you can say, it's just this is a very good country hospital. Nothing weird at all.
I mean, I remember that being a giant error sign, but sure, yeah.
Well, I mean, through your eyes, but this is through mine eyes. Hey, don't go over there. This is a very good country hospital.
It reminds me of home, really.
The best part of this sculpture is it's interactive, so you can just kind of put yourself there.
I do remember this. Oh yeah, you gotta no-clip it.
And just gently caress your balls. You've got it. You've got it. Garry's Mod has a thriving online community as well, but it's not really for this type of gameplay. From this infinite sandbox, more computer-minded players have created rules for games out of the ether and made some amazing ways to play with your friends online. Or if you were incapable of meaningful human contact in middle school, like me, you could find an online group of friends. These various people I met here are important for me, despite everything I'm about to say. Early on, playing this game, I was an incredibly young brain, and I think as we all know, the internet isn't really a good place for young brains. The communities of other young brains, or worse, the old people who, well, they didn't mind hanging out with kids all day, and there were always stories. These people were crafting my noticeably young brain, as I would dedicate hours of my life to the communities they ran, and these adults, they had no issue sharing their horrible worldviews. They were unchecked by other adults. It was just them and kids. And now as an adult, as a grown-up, I have to unlearn a lot of the balderdash that I picked up in these online communities when I was younger. Things that just seemed like the natural response because nobody called them out at a formative time in my brain development. And it got to the point where I moved on to other communities as I got older. And the last community I played with, the one I'm still kind of in contact with, they think I'm racist because when I was younger, I had no issue saying hurtful, hateful words. And it took me getting called out for saying the big bad word at a party by someone who I respected and really wanted to like me. To realize that even though I wasn't saying these words with malice in my heart, their existence, the fact that I am saying them, they are full of hate. And for people around me who may be impacted by those words more than others, it's not up to me to say that I didn't mean it in a hateful way. It's still out there hanging on the air. And it took me a long time, an embarrassingly long time, to learn that. And I'm not trying to pass the buck for my own shitty decisions, but I am trying to address a real issue I had as a result of playing this game And I mention it mostly because in the time that Connor and I were playing online, I heard and saw some vile stuff, and I fell into this place remembering a few specific places in my life and seeing these odd power dynamics that still exist. I just didn't want to ignore it. It's a horrible part of this game, and it makes me sad that I was a part of its more shitty side, but I try extremely hard to express the opposite of those incel ideas in every single thing I do now. It is just so much easier to bring love to the table instead of the hate that these communities instill just by participating in them, just by the people who are allowed to express their hate unchecked around impressionable minds. By far, one of the most wretched corners of these online game mods is the RP servers, or roleplay. It's so bad, actually, I don't have much usable footage out of 3 hours of a raw clip, because there is almost always some sort of hateful word on the screen. And that is crazy. But nonetheless, it was a big part of Garry's mod for me, so I would feel wrong passing it by. So here's Connor and I checking out an RP server. So this is RP, roleplay, I guess, essentially. Did you ever do anything like this prior to Garry's mod?
I mean, I guess if you consider like role-playing games, yeah, like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. I've definitely done different games where like it's encouraged to roleplay and stuff. I feel like that's always been like my bag. Like, why play a character? You're not gonna like be the character. And I did actually, like, way back when I maybe put like 1 to 2 hours into Garry's mod, like way back when I had a computer that could barely run it. And I did actually, one of the servers I was able to get onto was a RP server, but it was a Half-Life RP server, which is a game I've never played.
Oh, wow.
So I got to explain the rules and was in for like maybe like 10 minutes and like disconnected or something. So I do have a little bit of experience with it, but none of these like having an actual job like what we did and that kind of thing. I never got that far.
Yeah, this kind of takes it to another level where you're basically doing the mundane. With other RP games like D&D or Stardew Valley, where you're playing a role, there's at least more of a game to it. This one it feels like the game is your social interactions, which is odd, to say the least. Do you have like any, just like in general RP, like any memorable stories that hold up for you?
I mean, none. I mean, playing RP and Gmod, you mean?
I mean, just like in general role playing. Like, the thing I like about this is, even though it is fairly boring, you could lose yourself entirely, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Is there a role playing game that you felt was the easiest for you to lose yourself to a character?
I mean, I played a lot of characters, so that's a tough one to think about. But I guess, yeah, one of the more exciting, like, fun role-playing experiences that I can think of is I played this game called Aether, which is it's just a very universal role-playing game, like D&D, but it can be put in any time zone or like any time or whatever. And we were playing in a modern time, and I just remember having a really good time playing that game, because the module we played with was actually with the guy who created the whole game. Like, he was the DM. He created the whole system, so he knew it better than anybody, and he just was very good at what he did. And I just remember having one hell of a time sitting around a table of, I knew one of the people that I was with, and I knew him like only by name. He was one of my dad's friends, and I knew him like just from stories that I had heard. And yeah, I mean, he's an awesome dude, but it was the first experience I ever had playing with him or anybody else at the table, and it was just a really solid time.
Do you think the freedom of the Aether system contributed to more fun in the RP?
I mean, I think it was the reason why I fell in love with it so much, because I was like, you can do anything in this system, and like, I could make anything, you know, like I could do superheroes, I could we played Supernatural with that system a lot. You can do anything with it, so I think that the versatility and like openness of it is what really gave me. But I mean, the world that we were playing in allowed me to like have a lot of fun. I think.
Yeah.
Just in general.
I think it translates to like the same idea with Aether allows for just about everything. And Gmod RP does in the same way. Like, there is a lot you can do. There's a lot of different themes for like this concept of doing the mundane with friends. Like you mentioned, you joined a Half-Life one. I know there's Star Wars ones.
Yep.
It's very free, very open, and can be fun with the right amount of people.
Yep. It takes the right community.
It takes absolutely the right community. If I hosted a server and could control who comes and goes on it, I think I would have a blast playing this game. As is, like, you can't just join a random RP server and expect to have a good time. And that's probably like a decent thing, because like these servers are chat rooms essentially, and as I mentioned earlier, these chat rooms are unmoderated and odd, to say the least, at some times.
Yeah, that's true.
There is, I like this quite a bit, but at the same time, it's pretty hard to say I can endorse people playing it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I haven't had a lot of like experience with Gmod RP, except for the little bit that we played. But I think I can relate it to Rust, which is a game we recently played. In that, like, we were on a server that we didn't know very well, and I literally got killed 4 times in a row just spawning because there were people with guns killing everybody who spawned on, which is like just rude.
Yeah. Essentially, this game is role-playing a social contract, and hell, I can't trust people in real life to role-play a social contract, so I don't know why I want to come here and just have it broken constantly.
Yeah.
So I guess that leads into my next question. Does RP on Garry's Mod hold up? Would you come back and play this?
I think I would.
Yeah? Is there a specific theme?
I'm just the type... Okay, first off, I want to figure out how to, like, work that recycling thing. I had a really tough time getting the recycling into the recycling thing. Just bad stuff for me. And also, like, I don't know, there's something about me that likes the idea of just, like, doing a job, getting the job done, getting the money to buy, like, stuff and, like, make, like, a cool house. Like, I don't really have to interact with others as much for me to just, like, role play my own little trash man life.
That's what we did this entire time, essentially, was be trash men. And, I mean, hey, if you want, man, I've got that server still. We could set up an RP Gmod server. So,
I mean, we could do it.
You heard it here, folks. Folks, you've heard it. Let's talk about TTT. The online community for Garry's Mod isn't all terrible, and the real reason I ever play it anymore is to play this next game mode, which is called Trouble in Terrorist Town. When the game's online play first started to take off, the game company itself, Facepunch Studios, hosted a community-based competition to design the new multiplayer mod, the first official multiplayer mod for Garry's Mod, and Trouble in Terrorist Town was that winner. This game is the classic secret identity game, like Among Us or Werewolf, brought into a 3D shooter. It is, in my opinion, way more fun than those other games. But this isn't really too much about my opinion at this point. Let's see what Connor has to say about TTT versus Among Us. So I think we'll just show you guys a round of Trouble in Terrorist Town that I played as the traitor. All I have is a Glock and a dream. Paradise up above.
Fuck off.
Was this a Michael Bublé song that's playing?
Oh.
I love Michael Bublé.
Yeah, Michael Bublé.
Oh.
I'm in the wine cellar.
Dead. Oh. Me and him were battling, I guess. Yes.
No. There's somebody here. Oh god, oh god!
That's
Oh
terrifying.
no, all the lights shut off! Oh my god! Ooh. Who the hell? Oh! Wait, I know who it is. I know what they look like.
Are you talking in-game?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's unaccounted for.
Ah! Oh, sorry. Oh. Sorry. It could be a dream.
We'll get away.
Ah! Oh, hey.
I don't know where the dude that was up
Secret
here
passage
was.
is open.
The detective.
Oh, I got killed.
Fuck you.
I don't know how that happened. Is it a big body?
Fuck you.
Ah, dang in heck, you got me. So overall, what do you think of TTT?
Oh, I love TTT. I think that's probably the most appealing part of Garry's mod to me. In just that it's super fun. It's got that Among Us style gameplay, which is a game I've really been loving lately. And so going back to like basically what was the original is something that I thought was super cool and super fun. I would say I had a great time with it because it's honestly like more than Among Us. Everybody's carrying guns. Anybody can kill anybody. Like an innocent could kill an innocent just because they think that they're sus, and like I think that's super fun. Or like chaos can ensue because one person kills another. They could both be innocent and people just start shooting at each other. Like it's just fun. The like chaos and like complexity each game can bring, just in this, even on the same map, like with the same people.
These secret identity games are kind of hot right now. Do you think versus Among Us and TTT that they are different enough where you like can't say one is better than the other?
Yeah, I think you can compare them for the fact of the premise, but I think they're so different to their like core that it's unfair to be like TTT is better than Among Us.
All right, that's my story for this one. It is probably the most in the feels we'll get for a buddy eye, but it felt wrong to ignore as it is such a large aspect to this game. I love this game, and it had such a strong impact on who I was growing up. And more accurately, I hate that I love this game, but I love to hate it at the same time. So it is with a hint of trepidation that I say, go check out Garry's mod, see if it holds up for you. Well, on that bright note, I really hope you consider subscribing to Constantine and Albatross. Let us know what you think of this. This is getting a little more towards the essay form that I really enjoy my YouTube videos. So let me know if you enjoy it too. Thank you for watching this much, and I hope you all have a fantastic remainder of your 2020.
Kidding me? Come on, seriously? They have all different kinds of animal masks, but they don't have a fucking horse mask. Spoon is a thing, dude.